There is a kind of sorrow hidden beneath modern life that many people feel but cannot fully name. It is not merely depression, anxiety, loneliness, or stress, though it may wear all of those faces. It feels deeper than emotion, older, more structural, as though something essential in the human being has been interrupted. Not destroyed entirely, but halted, stunted, divided from its original pattern. We have become a civilization of expanding external power paired with diminishing inward coherence. We have grown taller without growing deeper, more informed without becoming wiser, more connected without becoming whole. And perhaps this is why so many people quietly romanticize childhood. Not because childhood itself was perfect, but because many remember, however faintly, a state of perception that felt more alive than the one they inhabit now. Children often experience reality with an immediacy adults struggle to recover. Wonder comes naturally to them. Presence comes naturally to them. Their attention is not yet fully fragmented. They have not yet become entirely layered over by performance, fear, cynicism, social masks, ideological rigidity, endless comparison, and survival-oriented identity construction. A child can stare at rain for 10 minutes and feel awe. Most adults stare at screens and feel numbness. Something changed. Yet I do not believe humanity was meant to remain spiritually infantile forever. That is where many people misunderstand the symbolism of becoming like little children. The goal was never permanent immaturity. The sapling is not greater than the tree simply because it is young. The tragedy is that the tree was supposed to unfold into magnificence and instead began rotting while it grew. It increased in size while losing vitality. It gained branches while losing fruit. The abundance that should have emerged through maturation became diluted instead. Our civilization mistakes enlargement for development. We see accumulation and assume growth. We see complexity and assume wisdom. But complexity without integration can become a sophisticated form of fragmentation. This is why the phrase arrested development feels spiritually profound when expanded beyond psychology. Something in humanity's unfolding appears to have been interrupted. Not physically, not intellectually, but inwardly. The soul continued forward without proper rooting. We developed technologies capable of reshaping continents while remaining emotionally and spiritually unstable. We can communicate across oceans instantly while struggling to sit silently with ourselves for 5 minutes. We have unprecedented access to information while lacking orientation toward meaning. Our tools evolved faster than our consciousness. Many ancient spiritual traditions warned about this exact imbalance, though they used symbolic language to describe it. Mystics spoke of veils, coverings, garments, fragmentation, exile, forgetfulness, and divided hearts. They described humanity as possessing a hidden inheritance buried beneath layers of conditioning. In some traditions, salvation was not framed merely as learning something new, but as remembering something ancient. The soul had forgotten its own depth, forgotten its source, forgotten the living center around which proper development was supposed to unfold. This is why the imagery of nakedness in ancient texts is so powerful. Before Adam and Eve clothed themselves, they were described as naked and unashamed. Mystically, this can be understood as a state of undivided being, transparent consciousness, nothing hidden, nothing fractured. Reality was experienced directly rather than through layers of shame, fear, and alienated self-consciousness. But after division entered their perception, they clothed themselves. Their vision split. They became inwardly fragmented. And from that fragmentation emerged hiding, fear, separation, and concealment. The garments symbolize more than fabric. They represent layers of conditioned identity. The masks we accumulate to survive society. The personas we wear until we no longer remember what existed beneath them. This is why certain mystical texts speak symbolically about stripping garments away and becoming like children to enter the kingdom. The point was not regression into ignorance. It was recovery of wholeness. And perhaps innocence itself has been misunderstood. People often reduce innocence to naivete or lack of experience, but deeper symbolism suggests innocence may mean something closer to uninjured perception, an inward state that has not yet been fragmented beyond recognition. Even psychologically, our language reveals this pattern. We speak of fractured identities, broken spirits, torn hearts, divided minds. Injury itself is often a form of separation, a rupture in continuity, a splitting apart of what was once integrated. Modern humanity often suffers from invisible fragmentation. The self becomes partitioned into roles and performances. Work self, social self, online self, defensive self, hidden self, survival self. The psyche becomes layered and compartmentalized, and eventually people become so identified with the coverings that they lose access to the original vitality beneath them. They become spiritually exhausted without understanding why. They are praised for functioning while inwardly disintegrating. This is why certain songs, works of art, and spiritual moments feel strangely healing. They briefly restore coherence. They reconnect emotion, memory, body, rhythm, meaning, and presence into one experience. They remind the soul of its own depth. They awaken something older than intellect. This is why music like Tennessee by Arrested Development resonates so deeply with many listeners even decades later. Beneath the lyrics is a longing for rootedness, for ancestral memory, for spiritual ground untouched by the machinery of modern fragmentation. The song feels like someone trying to return to the soil before the soul became overdeveloped externally and underdeveloped internally. And perhaps this explains why so many adults secretly envy children while simultaneously dismissing them. Children often perceive symbolically and holistically before society trains them into rigid fragmentation. They ask questions adults stopped asking long ago. They notice beauty adults overlook. They feel wonder where adults feel boredom. Yet instead of protecting and cultivating that inward vitality properly, society often reshapes them into functional but spiritually diminished beings. We call this maturity. But true maturation should deepen essence, not dilute it. A healthy tree unfolds according to the life already hidden within the seed. It grows upward and downward simultaneously. Its roots deepen as its branches expand. It becomes capable of bearing fruit, offering shade, nourishing life beyond itself. Fruitfulness is one of the oldest spiritual symbols because fruit is visible fulfillment of hidden potential. And fruit itself contains seeds. True development multiplies life beyond the self. A civilization obsessed only with external advancement eventually becomes barren. Impressive in scale, but incapable of nourishing the soul. This is why many people today possess entertainment but no peace, stimulation but no meaning, connection but no communion, identity but no grounded selfhood. We have cultivated surfaces while neglecting essence. The answer is not rejecting intellect, technology, or adulthood itself. The answer is reintegrating them around a deeper center. Wisdom and innocence were never supposed to be enemies. The perfected human being was not meant to become less alive through growth, but more alive, more integrated, more capable of holding wonder and discernment together, more rooted while expanding outward. Like a great tree whose maturity increases its fruitfulness instead of hollowing it out. Perhaps becoming like little children means recovering undivided perception after passing through fragmentation consciously. Not ignorance after innocence, but wholeness after exile. A mature innocence. A consciousness capable of depth without losing wonder. Structure without deadness. Knowledge without arrogance. Power without corruption. Growth without spiritual decay. And maybe that is the real work before humanity now. Not merely advancing further outward, but remembering how to grow inward again. Perhaps the deeper tragedy of spiritual arrested development is that stagnation is never truly neutral. Living things are meant to move, unfold, circulate, regenerate, and bear fruit. A tree that ceases to nourish itself inwardly while continuing to expand outwardly does not remain perfectly preserved. It slowly begins losing vitality. The bark may still grow wider, the branches may still stretch farther, but the life within it weakens. The fruit diminishes, the sap thins. In the same way, humanity has continued growing physically, technologically, and intellectually, while often becoming spiritually exhausted beneath the surface. We mistake external complexity for inward maturation, but many people today are vitality-starved rather than truly alive. They possess stimulation without renewal, movement without meaning, information without wisdom. True spiritual growth should increase aliveness, not diminish it. The mature soul was never meant to become colder, duller, and more fragmented than the child. It was meant to unfold into greater coherence, greater rootedness, greater presence, and greater fruitfulness, like a great tree fully alive in its season, rather than a hollow trunk merely surviving its own expansion.